Hi, I am Alicia. You discovering my channel is no accident. I'm a nutritional herbalist and master energy healer at the Energy Healing Channel. The Energy Healing Channel was created to clarify information on topics such as Reiki being a healing modality, and honestly, what is it really doing during and after a session? I'll cover other major crisis topics on Reiki for cancer, chakras and organ health, herbalism, nutritional Ayurveda for cancer, just to name a few. If these and similar healing topics are something you struggle with, you are in the right place. Hello and welcome back. So today's video is going to be specifically talking about Reiki benefits. So what are some of the benefits that you will receive while getting a Reiki session, or even before a Reiki session and after the Reiki session? So one major benefit is that it is medicineless. There are no prescriptions that you have to take, which is really, really beneficial. If you are like me and you don't like taking the painkillers, you don't like taking the Tylenol, you don't like taking anything that will alter your ability to be mobile and things like that, that's one of the reasons why I came across Reiki, because I was looking for medicineless alternatives to healing and feeling better. As you may know, a year or so ago, I experienced a work injury, and it actually was a re-injury because in 2017, no, 2016, that was the original date of injury. And then roughly about 2 years later, I injured that same area of my body again. And so I've been off of work for about a year or so, just in recovery. And during my recovery time, I was able to come across things like massage. I came across things like Reiki, and those two, they really go hand in hand. I won't be talking a lot about massage at this point. Like I said, this is more about the benefits of Reiki, because most people out there already know what massage is. They've had one before, they know like what the outcome is of it. So Reiki is more of the invisible force that you cannot see with your naked eye. Now, if you have an active third eye, if you have your clairvoyance turned up, then you more than likely can see the actual energy flow. So what it is, it's our body's natural chi. It's called chi energy, or some people call it prana. I know there's a lot of different wording and names out there for what this type of thing is. So there are things called prana healing, chi healing, but all in all, it really comes down to that it is Reiki. Reiki is a universal energy that is all around us. It helps to animate everything. And so, whenever you're receiving a Reiki treatment, what's happening is the Reiki energy is actually coming through the Reiki practitioner, flowing through them out of their hands, even out of the bottoms of our feet. A lot of times, you can give Reiki with any part of your body, but the most common way to administer it is with your hands. And in a previous video, I went over, beaming. Beaming is a really big way to make, the greatest impact in a session, especially if the person is not comfortable with being touched, or if there is an area of the body that is harder to reach. If you're giving a session and the person is, like I said previously in a video, if they're in a chair, beaming to their feet is very effective. Now, benefits of getting a Reiki treatment are Usually the Reiki practitioner has grounded themselves. A lot of times when I do a session beforehand, I prepare. So I do my meditation. In my meditation, I actually work on being in the center of my head. Not only being in the center of my head, but making sure that my aura is full and does not have any holes or scars or leakage. And I did make a video about, aura leaks. And as a practitioner, it's very, very vital that my aura is full and that it's actually tucked into my grounding cord. So I also, before any Reiki session, I make sure that I am fully grounded and that I have my certain protection up, which I utilize a technique called using a protection rose. So I make sure to have my protection roses up, so that way whatever is being released by the patient or client does not stick to me and it doesn't get into my auric field. So a benefit that you would see, a lot of times you're going to release a lot of things that you've buried deep, deep inside that you were just kind of like going around. You weren't really trying to face that and release it. A lot of those things will surface. And there is also the benefit of receiving a spiritual message that you may need to hear at that time. A lot of times, we're going through this world and, we're bombarded with all kinds of stuff from the news, from social media, from our family, from our friends. And, a lot of that stuff sticks to our aura. And when we don't have a proper way to release it, it basically melds on and becomes a part of your aura and it can weigh you down. You'll start to feel like you're being blocked. Certain things are not happening for you like the way you want them to. You'll start having weird interactions with people and things like that. And that's because your own personal self is being clouded. And one other major benefit of receiving a Reiki treatment, which kind of ties into what I've been talking about, is really just releasing. You're able to start to release that stagnant energy in your organs or your chakras. They are basically the same, one and the same. That's one of the major things. Your chi energy will actually begin to flow. There's a natural rhythm that our body goes through, and when one area is stopped up, then that impedes the flow of energy. A lot of people have issues with money and currency, and that has a lot to do with your current in your body, like what type of current is your body generating. If your body is generating and vibrating at a really, really low vibration, then your current or your currency is going to be low. You're going to feel like, I can never keep money. Money always, I get it and I have to spend it. It's hard for me to get money. Things like that will be more than likely stuff that you're thinking about. So a major benefit, like I said, is to help get that energy flowing. It's a certain rhythm, each chakra, and the chakras are a very deep conversation because there's actually layers upon layers upon layers within the chakras themselves. And negative energy can get stuck between those layers. And if stuck energy gets in between those layers and you, like I said, you've pushed it down, 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 you don't want to deal with it. You're like, that's not, you say it's not your problem, but in reality it is your problem that you're just not facing. Then you're going to cause issues either in that chakra. A lot of times, like I've said before, people will hold stuff in their sacral and their root chakra. Those are usually the ones that they kind of stuff things down in, and it can become detrimental and cause illness actually. It's interesting that once you kind of start going on a spiritual journey, you start eating better and things like that, you start to kind of realize, like, you know, the energy around you, you start noticing things like that. And if you're not really aware of, is your aura around your body, or is your aura like way out there trying to help create a buffer? But when it's way out there, you're actually collecting up more things into your space instead of keeping it nice and around you and having protection. So having balanced chakras slash organs are vital. And so that's I would say the key thing that is beneficial with Reiki. Another great benefit of Reiki is getting better sleep. A lot of us go through, you know, the tossing and turning. We also go through the waking up in the middle of the night, fully waking up in the middle of the night and then having a hard time falling asleep. We also face falling asleep, you know, with needing to have something on. I remember for the longest time, since I was a little kid, I can remember, like, I needed the TV on, like I needed to have that background noise on. And as I got older, I mean, I was still doing that, but I was just realizing that I didn't like the silence at night, which is really interesting. And having silence when you're asleep, it actually helps you to have better dreams. I don't know when I stopped dreaming, but there was an extensive amount of time when I wasn't dreaming. And then I recently, within this past year or so, learned that, we actually are supposed to be dreaming at night and remembering those dreams for the most part. I mean, of course, you may not remember like the whole thing, but like for the most part, we are supposed to be remembering our dreams. So dream recall, it would actually help to remove some of the barriers that you might have around recalling your dreams, which is really beneficial, because if you tend to have a lot of nightmares, if you tend to have a lot of just weird weird dreams, it can help kind of get to the bottom of why you're having those weird dreams. Another benefit of getting Reiki treatments or sessions is just longevity overall. Like I said, it helps improve your energy. So, like, if you're really into working out, if you're really into doing things outside of the home, but you've noticed lately, like, oh, I don't feel like doing this, like, you feel like sluggish, you feel lazy almost, like, you kind of just really don't feel like doing much of anything. A lot of times you have some stuck energy in your aura that needs to be let go. Like I mentioned kind of in the beginning, with me being grounded, I actually ground the room as well. So that way, like when you're releasing stuff, it's actually going down the grounding cord to the center of the earth to be transmuted. Now, I usually recommend, I do talk with my clients about their nutrition, what are they eating, and things like that. I usually, I'm not really biased because everybody is at a different space in, on their journey, on their timeline. And, I may make some suggestions on things to eat, also some things to drink, like different teas, and different herbs and things to maybe have around just to help with the after session process. But all in all, getting Reiki sessions, a lot of people just have a misconception of what Reiki really is. I know on YouTube, there's a lot of people on there doing different sessions, which they're Reiki ASMR, so it's more of a sound thing. A lot of people's voices are really calming, so that's a really beneficial way to experience it. But again, it's virtually, so if you can actually find a practitioner that you can meet with in person, or even set up a session that's distant, that would actually be a more direct healing for you, and not just a mass produced for the general public. That's one thing, when I started the channel, I was kind of looking, I was like, should I do that? But I was like, no, I don't want to offer my services that way at this time. I might later on, but I just feel that there's a lot of like questions about Reiki that need to be answered, and it's starting to become a little bit more popular. One of my aunts was telling me that she saw an episode somewhere. She was watching something on TV and they were talking about Reiki. So Reiki is starting to get a little bit more traction. It was a little bit on the underground, a little bit, because it is a Japanese healing technique. And with the whole thing that happened on with Japan and in our history in the United States, Reiki wasn't really broadcasted or promoted as a healing modality. It's really funny because chiropractic kind of is in the same alignment with that, along with massage. So those three things are kind of the same in a sense. The other two being more of work of adjusting the physical body, but energy is actually working on the energetic body, that we cannot see with our naked eye. You would need to have an active third eye or first eye, actually, things like that. But Reiki, just overall, it just promotes just such a really relaxing thing. We go through so much stress. We put a lot of stress on ourselves based on, where we are in life. A lot of times we don't realize this until it's too late. And I'm really grateful for discovering Reiki, because it has helped me to manage my stress level. It has helped me to reduce, and promote relaxation, because dealing with the injury of the back, you know, a lot of times people do not recover from that. And so my recovery is looking a lot more hopeful because I actually started integrating therapeutic massage. My hopes are I'm actually wanting to kind of pair those together. So I will actually be getting trained in massage as well. So once I kind of maybe get that under the belt, I'll talk a little bit more about how they pair up. But right now, my focus is just Reiki, because I feel that it's a vital part that has been overlooked. A lot of people just really don't understand it. I think now a lot more people are more open to understanding it because they realize certain things, and there's a lot of people in the conscious community talking about certain aspects of energetic energy, things like that. And so, and getting into meditation and things like that, like the education is starting to reveal itself. And so I'm hoping to answer a majority of the questions that I have been asked, and that I've found online that haven't really been answered to a good extent, in my opinion. And so with Reiki, it just really helps get yourself in alignment. When I started learning Reiki, like I said in the previous video, I did start online with an online course, but I felt that it was not enough. Like I needed the actual hands-on application, because it is a hands-on modality, and or more of a hands-on modality than it is virtual. You can get idea of what it is, but like the actual thing, that's why I said it is close to massage, because you actually need to learn how to interface with the patient and things like that. And just coming to an actual Reiki practitioner where they've prepared the room, they've prepared themselves, you'll have just a fantastic experience. And it'll be one of those experiences where you don't want to leave. You'll want, you know, it's going to be like, can I get a Reiki session tomorrow? And that's the beautiful thing about Reiki. Like, you can get it every day. It is energy medicine. It works a lot better, in my opinion, than painkillers, because one of the major things was with the painkillers, you can't, well, you can, but you're not really supposed to be driving, heavy machinery, which i.e. is a car. Like, you're not supposed to be driving a car or even really going to work like that. And, you can't always get in a massage. And so that's one of the benefits, is to get a distance session with Reiki. You can order it, and then the practitioner can send it to you without you even having to leave your home or office. Another benefit to Reiki would be just helping with learning and studying. It actually helps to clear out all of the mind chatter that may go on, also helping to clear the space where you're going to be studying to allow for learning and growth to happen. I utilize that a lot. More recently, I've been using it a lot more. And that's the thing, like, if the practitioner is really doing this stuff on their own and just with their own life, then that's just really going to help amplify the session, because the Reiki energy is going to be flowing freely like it's supposed to. Like, I feel it coming out of my hands right now because I'm talking about it, and I asked it to, to help kind of balance out this recording. So yeah, those are the benefits of Reiki. And that ends the topic today. This has been Alisia with the Energy Healing Channel. I'd like to leave a note with you. Every one of you is a hyperdimensional being. The power that you have is all the real power you'll ever need. Being half-hearted equates to seeking approval from an external God, religion, or system. Your body is the real Bugatti, but maintenance is long, long overdue, my friend. Once you know thyself, you will know all things.